Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today, in this episode of Thomas Wooden Guide, we will be talking about magnet variations. To begin, let us talk about the flat magnets. This was a design of magnet that had a flat surface and was first introduced in 1993, coinciding with the beginning of the range. Now I'm going to refer to this magnet as a 93. However, online there is still a bit of conversation as to whether it's a 92 or a 93. Now, I'm pretty sure this was settled a while back, but for a lot of the old guard of Thomas collectors, 1992 is still a pretty stock standard thing we say. But because this is more meant to be a guide for the next generation of Thomas the Tank Engine collectors, I'm going to just refer to it as 93 for good practice. But some people may refer to this as 92s, and I just want you to be aware of that. They're not necessarily wrong, it's just old information that's permeated into the community over the years. This magnet was only in production for about 1, maybe 2 years. We're not going to delve too much into the complex history of transitional models in this video. For all you need to know is that this magnet was present on 93 items and occasionally 94 items, before it was superseded by the angled flat magnet. This was produced from 94 to 95, and the differences between the two are not immediately apparent with these close-up pictures. Which is why I've done a bit of a mock-up for everyone at home that more adequately illustrates the differences. With version 1 flat magnets present on the very early items, you see this more curved edge, leading to a flat spot or another curved edge. In many ways, this could be considered as a hybrid between round and flat magnets, whereas the 94, strangely, looks kind of worse. This is a far more angled design. This is the easiest way to tell them apart, the other being this inner circle present on the 1994s. But even this can get a bit complicated. This inner circle is also present on all subsequent items up until 1997's revision over here. While you would not mistake these two for this magnet here, the first generation round magnet, does share some striking resemblances to the original, to the second gen flat. As such, at a distance, these two could be confused. Talking about the first round magnet, this one's a bit complicated. I've listed the years of production from 94 to 96. But there is some reason to believe that this was actually a 1995 change. The reason why it's a bit complicated really goes into a far more deeper dive into why 1995 itself is very complicated. And that's going to be the subject of the next video. Also in 1995, as you can see actually, very confusingly, there are 3 different types of magnets present in this year. We see the introduction of the small round magnet. This was a pretty poor design, and while all 3 of these have their benefits and their weaknesses, this was pretty much just weaknesses. A smaller surface area as well as a larger outside edge basically means this is a pretty poor magnet. It did linger in production, however, till 1997, with this magnet appearing in late 1996. This is the large round magnet, not to be confused with the protruding round magnet here. It has a flatter surface compared to the rest, but also still retains the circle. It's the last generation to actually keep the circle. This was in production until 1998, with some of the last items produced using it being I believe, the sad-faced Henry, as well as the exhausted-faced Thomas from the Thomas and Birdie Great Race set. Following this just absolute mess of magnet designs over the past basically 5 years, they settled on this design, which would remain ubiquitous across the entire range up until its discontinuation in 2012, where it was subsequently replaced by Mattel's Wooden Railway range, which from 2012 all the way up to present day, including I'm pretty sure the new Wooden Railway line, used this design, which basically was the 97 design with a slightly thicker outer rim. a slightly thicker outer rim. This pretty much wraps this up. There is not really much else to say about the magnets. How is this at all helpful? Well, at a glance, it makes it easier to determine what a lot consists of, as well as, in some cases, being able to tell the approximate year the items were purchased. Especially in far more consistent lots, which are getting scarcer and scarcer as the Thomas market, especially in Australia, starts to sort of mix and match different items from different years. It really helps to tell both the sets that have been kept by pretty much a one owner, as well as, like I said, the year. If you see a menagerie of the 94 flat magnets, maybe a bit of those and a few of those, you can pretty much discern that it was about a 94 to about 97, 96, 97 range. If you see like these ones, for instance, you can pretty much determine that it's 97, and probably in most cases a far later combination. It's an easy way at a glance just to sort of figure out what's going on in a massive lot. Of course, the similarities do make this complicated, and I'd really advise familiarizing yourself with some of these magnets, or at least trying to pick them out inside lots. They can also help with other things, but this is something that more goes into transitional and other type of engines, which will be the subject of a future video. So thank you all very much for watching, and bye for now.